Well guys, what I'm going to do now is show you how I hooked up the throttle to the engine, and then it's time to work on the spacers for the jack shaft. Okay, so I took this little angle bracket and stuck this the brake cable through there, the outer sleeve, and then I ran it over to just a bolt that's hooked onto the arm here, and it loops around that bolt, and then I have this aluminum cable crimp end there. So when I pull the throttle cable, or squeeze it I should say, see? Now I have a feeling most likely what's going to happen here. You see how the cable is rubbing against the far side of this connection there, and it'll probably wear through that part of the aluminum, but it gives it enough stroke to the point to where a screw stop doesn't quite get to it. You see right smack dab in the middle of the screen, this thing here is a bolt that goes through, and it's got the spring on it that gives it tension. It's kind of like the throttle adjustment there, so if you want to go slower or don't want the kid to speed down the street or whatever, you can screw that in more and have it stop at a given point. But the only problem with that is that the RPMs don't go up high enough to get the clutch to kick in, so keep that in mind. And that's what I did. Very simple. And cable goes down, up underneath, goes right up to here. That's what we got. Okay, well, I just measured these out, and it looks like this one over here is going to be 7/16. I hate working with 16ths, but it's going to be 7/16. This one here is 2 inches, and this one here is 3/8. So I'm going to cut some 3/4 inch inner diameter tubing to fit inside of those 3 places. Yeah. I kind of jumped the gun here, and I got the spacers in, and then I also put the chain on. And looks like it's going to work pretty decent here. It was a little hard getting those spacers in there. Yeah. It looks good. Yep. So we're a few steps closer to getting this working, getting this going. And the jack shaft extends about 3/4 of the way inside the pillow blocks, so there's enough surface contact there not to create any wobble over time. And I took my set screws that are on the portion here and put some Loctite on them and tightened them down, so they're pretty decent. I've noticed that when I tightened up the engine to put this on, the engine, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, the engine is sitting like this a little bit, which makes the alignment of the clutch not entirely on the chain, so I'm going to have to loosen up my bolts on my engine and position the engine more in line. So I can see it by looking down. I don't know if you guys can see this, but let me go straight down from the top. If you were to imagine the straight line from the chain going straight out, you can see that the clutch is positioned like this a little bit. And I thought it was because the clutch is loose, but I don't think that's the reason. I don't like that looseness, but we'll see how well it works. as my other two clutches aren't like that. We'll test this and see if it works. Yeah, so there we go. Another thing is on the bars. See, this bar here is welded here underneath, and you know, all welded up pretty decently. So this is pretty strong. This one here, I was thinking about adding a gusset into here, you know, just to make it a little bit more solid, but you can't really see it very well on the camera here. But this right here is a lot of good weld. I filled that up, and that's really nice and tough. And I welded all the way around this bar. So I don't think I'm going to have to bother with putting a gusset in here for strength or anything. I'm pretty sure it's going to be strong enough. And let's see. Tomorrow I'll probably be working on figuring out what to do with the brake. Since I can't really cut things apart, I don't have really the tools or anything like that. I'm going to have to figure out some way to set this up. And I don't think I'm going to keep the handbrake up here. I think I'm going to get rid of that and then do maybe a foot brake, because this whole area right here, I'm going to be taking this plate out of here and then putting in another seat, build a little seat out of some angle iron and stuff for Allie, and then put places where she can put her feet up here. And then the seat and stuff is going to be elevated about, I don't know, maybe an inch or so off of the initial frame. So it lifts her up and props her body up so she can actually reach here. Because you can't lay back, because she won't be able to reach these things. So, reach the handlebars. So, without completely redesigning this thing, I'm going to just build in a false seat and a place for her feet to sit. And then I'll be working on the front. Since I won't need to, this thing won't be folding up anymore, I won't have to put that big square piece on there. Or I might use that, heck, might as well, and cut some of it off and then make an actual bumper area for her. So, yeah. But, so that's what I've done today, you guys, and I'll be working on it some more tomorrow. So, stay dirty, keep riding. Bye-bye.